Hey everyone, GeForce41 here with another casual preview. Sorry for my absence for the past month. I am back, looking to put more content out there. If you have any suggestions, thoughts, ideas, shoot them my way. Send me some comments below. But we're going to go to Driftless Glen today. Steve's course. Steve, it's SROEL 908 on the game. Steve's out there in the community, a great member of the community on the boards, on Discord, has produced some really good courses we've featured before. So we're going to go take a peek at Driftless Glen today. I think I'm going to feature this week 8. Not 100% sure, but we'll talk about that as we go. We're in season 31, so thank you again for all of you that have hung in there. We did our Casuals 300 preview. That was one of the last videos I did. And I'm back. Where have I been? Busy, folks. Real work and baseball coaching. I have 2 young boys. I help coach both teams. And I feel like I've spent the past 4 or 5 weeks raking infields. Getting rid of the mud, throwing turf down, pounding the mound. It's been very rainy here in the Northeast. So we've had a great baseball season. I've had a lot of fun. But looking forward to getting back to some more content here. All right. So any suggestions, thoughts, course design tips that you want, send them my way. But let's get right to the golf here. Driftless Glen, featuring this on in the Casuals Golf Club, week 8. Let's roll. All right, here we go. So I am on the back tees. I believe it's the black tees. I have the wind set medium and south, and I am playing hole location 2, because I have played this once on hole location 1. Looks like a really good course. Played great the first time. Low lighting, it's dawn kind of time frame here. And yeah, what we look to do here, look at the wind. You know, hey, I like to pick courses that are interesting. I have something to add as far as the conversation's concerned. What we do here is I try to give some friendly course design tips. Help designers out. Now, Steve's an experienced designer, but I did notice a few things here that will just add to an interesting conversation. So I just thought this would be a very interesting course to go through, point out some really good things, and then I had a couple things I thought I might help with some suggestions. And that's what it's all about, right? So helpful tips for you all. It's helpful for you new designers to see how to do things well. There's a lot of good things here in this course. You know, sometimes I have these courses that are just so spectacular, I have nothing to say other than wow. And sometimes, you know, on the rookie design contest, it's chock full of, you know, advice, tips, things like that. Here we've got an experienced designer putting up a really nice course. Really fun. Plays fairly, you know, casuals. I want to say easy. I hate that word. Plays fairly simple, very playable. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Very playable, but challenging in the right spots. You, of course, can just crank up the difficulty if you like. We play with tees that are up a little bit. We don't play with a lot of wind, and we play with slower greens. So the greens are at default, which we'll check. I didn't quite check while we were on the green. We got a little bit of wind here, so I'm going to give us some loft. So nice kind of figure 8 type green here, a little narrow for a simple short 3. Coming right at you right off the bat on the second hole. Just judging some distance here. Sit down for me. Very nice. So pretty scenery. Greens are all on 143 for me. There we go. Take the bird. So obviously this has got the relaxing, low-key, meadowy feel, right? Kind of like the prairie-type course. You know, you see these were popular last year. A bunch of them, Wingspread Prairie, etc., which is one we might be featuring soon. Obviously the name Driftless Glen gives you that feel and that vibe. So a shortish 4. The wind is in my face, so I can hit driver here. This looks like one of these holes where driver is going to be taken out of your hands if you have the wind behind your back. Just a note here on these type of holes, I do a lot of these. It's okay to kind of truncate the fairway here and have these fairways that stop. There just has to be a reason. Um, Here, we'll look at it after I hit my tee shot. The hill is sufficient. Sometimes people get annoyed with that. Usually it's a little bit bigger hill. I think the question is, can you get a mower on it? And I've had holes like this before, and people say, well, there's no reason for the fairway to stop. Well, yeah, there is if there's a hill. You see that all the time in real life courses. So I think the challenge here is, what are you going to do with the winds at your back? Here, there really wasn't much of a decision. But if you look, the green's two yards down, right? So if I kind of bring this in here and bring it to the top of the fairway, there's not that much of a difference here. So the elevation change is not drastic, is all I'm getting at. Down 6, down 12, right? I'm way out there now. But there's not that big, that hill isn't that big is my observation, okay? So usually it's a little bit of bigger. You probably could get away with the fairway and smoothing that a little. Obviously, that wasn't the idea of the hole. But, something for you designers to be careful of. If you're going to end the fairway, have a reason. There is a reason here. It's subtle. It's not in your face, a huge drop. But oftentimes you see it, well, there's just like a bunker there. And it's just to throw a hazard, an obstacle in your way. Which, meh. Doesn't make for a great hole. Usually. I like the greens. I like the way they're rolling. The lighting is very relaxing. Playing a course called Driftless Glen, and sure should be, right? Right into a longish 3, 220 to the front. Pins in the front. And let's see. This one here. Yeah. Alright, another observation here. So this one, if you've watched my videos on making greens look natural, I talked a lot about the natural flow in the land. I got nothing wrong with this hole per se. I like the idea. I like where it's going. I would think it might go the other way a little. Now back here, it definitely goes this way. But what I mean is, which way does the land go, right? Basically, here's the clubhouse. You see that's 1 foot down from the tee box. The green's about 9 feet down, right? You keep going. 11, 10, 13, 14, to about 20 feet down. So there's a 20-foot drop from here to the clubhouse. So the land moves down towards the water by about 20 feet. So naturally you would think this piece of land right in here would move that way. It does at the top a little, but you look, most of that green, I'd say 80% of it is moving off to the left. And then down over here. Whoops. And I know it gets hard to follow with the cursor. Sorry, folks. That's the joy of PlayStation playing and not computer or PC. I would think it goes predominantly the other way. And the pitch is primarily this way, down through the water. I would almost think the green would be angled that way. Either or. I mean, it's not a big deal either way. It's a good hole. But again, it feeds off this way, and the water be going that way. Which, maybe there's water over there. No. Way over there, there's some water. Just in general, and these are the little things that really help your design pop. Is there anything wrong with this? No. Am I being picky? Like I've said before, no, I'm just kind of throwing in an observation. I think to make this better, I would go predominantly the other way, and maybe have this bunker on the other side. Have it feed this way, and have a bunker up here, and then maybe, the green kind of going that way. No biggie, but I like it though. You got a short 3, and then a long 3. I got to give it plenty of juice here. I'm all over the place with my club, making you guys dizzy. Hey, it's been about a month, so bear with me on these. I haven't been in the driver's seat here doing this in quite some time, so shaking off some rust. Kind of like the swing, right? And I haven't played real golf much lately either. Between the baseball and the weather, oh my gosh. I just played 18 holes my first round since Memorial Day. I played 9 at my local club. Finally got 18 in. Just a lot of rain, a lot of baseball. The end of the school year. Real work is very busy. So center cut fairway. Sorry, center line bunker. We can't get there. So this is definitely a 3-shot. Par 5. Given the winds at our back. Well, the question becomes, do you lay up and put a full wedge in? Because look at that green. That's a tough little spot. Might actually lay it back. Go at it with a wedge. Just to see what happens. Nah, I got too close. Should have laid way back. That's not going to do any good. See if I can take advantage of the slope. Come on now. Come on now. There you go. Well designed, Steve. Take a little advantage of the hill, and I didn't whiff on the putt. Alright. Number 6. Another 4. This one's a little, not quite, it's a medium length 4, I should say. Kind of over a blind, a little bit of a blind tee shot over a hill. And that, ooh, that pin is tucked too. So we definitely want to be off on the right here. Gonna put a little cut on this bad boy. Did I get it? Yeah, I fasted it, so I pulled it a little. But the bounce is going to be favorable. Gotta throw it up over the bunker. That little hill there is going to help. Put a little spin on it. See what happens. Ah, it's going far. Too far. Come on back. Nope. No such luck. So a couple of interesting hole locations. Look at that. Nice. Back-to-back birds. Looking good. Okay, hole 7. Look at that green. So this is a long 4 with the wind in our face. Interesting. So far fairly flat in terms of general topography, but certainly some interesting undulations in the fairway and around the green. Obviously that's going to be an interesting hole when the hole location's up there. But for right now we got 13 miles an hour in our face. We've got to go with the 3-wood and loft it a little. And I blocked it. Give me a kick. Greens are predominantly surrounded by cuts of fairway. Take a closer look at that shortly. Par 3, 200. Again, a little longer. One's in the back, and the wind is now with us. 19 feet up with the hill. I'm going to take it. up a notch on the loft. Come on in there. Come on in there. Get in there. Take that. Nope. Nice little city scene in the back there. Okay, 9. You see, sorry, you know I instinctively do this. I check the tee box. This is, I've told you before, when I design, I'm checking my tee boxes when I play test. And I do that when I judge too. And I just noticed I'm instinctively doing that. A little bit of a hill here on the side. It's going to take you right down kind of where you want it. Playing into the wind. So we got some tiers here, and this isn't a front little tier, so we definitely want to take advantage of that hill. You don't want to be left. That's for sure. Give me a roll. 188. And again, this is kind of the same direction. There's that pond we talked about earlier. See now, this green's going pretty much in that direction. That's as you would expect. That's all I was saying about that. See, there's that green over there that we talked about earlier. That was headed the other direction. It's going to be on the middle tier, I think. Oh, did I catch it? Did I catch it? Did I catch it? Did he catch it? Oh. Not bad. Pushed it. So there's no fringe around the greens. Again, designer's choice. Depends on the type of course you're doing. I think this is one of these courses you want everything to kind of blend in. So actually, let's take a look. We didn't look at the splining. He's got some good splining here and cut of light rough. Actually, these textures are almost identical to what I'm using. I'm using a little lighter fairway texture on my links course. So there's a little kind of a linksy vibe going on here. But I think I'm basically using the same heavy rough and light rough. And you got the thin band of light rough, which I prefer, especially on a course like this. Only on kind of unique courses do you want to use or not use light rough, in my opinion. I know I think I'm in the minority on that. You get too many courses with this, tighter fairways that are more traditional, I should say, and they don't use the light rough. You get just a little silly. That's not going to move. And I putt right off the green. That's all right. Oh, I left it short. That was silly. All right. I'm going to say about time for a 5, I think, right? So this is interesting. It's a nice big fairway with some room over there. Wind is at our back. I'm not sure why you'd go over there. Let's take a look at the green. You might want to go over there with the hole over there, but from this tee box, do I trust myself? Well, 24 feet down. For the hell of it, let's do it. Got the wind and the elevation. Go, 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 go. Made it. So yeah, that's kind of clever. Now that's an interesting slope on a green. That's kind of sizable. So obviously you're going to have a couple of hole locations down there. It's going to fall off here. But I like it, like the concept. We've got the wind at our back. So, I've got a ramp. Let's see what this does. Oh no. Nope. Not going to be good at all. So 39 inches up. Wow. So I've got to kill this thing. People would green chip from there. Which is probably what I should have done. Being that far away. Oh no, I whiffed. Pretty scene up on the hill. Try it again, see if I can really get it up there. Get up there. Oh no. And right back to where I was. And I killed it over. Well, that was interesting, folks. Hit a putt. Nope. For the dreaded snowman. Oh well. Bad shot in and silly first putt. A little use of the hill there. Come on down. There you go. So I'm not sure exactly when this course came out. And I'm not sure if it's been featured anywhere else, if it's made the TGC Tours site. I'm sure this has got to be tour worthy on TGC Tours. The fine gentlemen there, I'm sure, have it slated for something. And oh, so here's what we're talking about. Yeah, I don't know about this one. You know, like I said, if you stop the fairway, there's usually a reason. And two bunkers aren't the reason, because you're going to put the bunkers in yourself. A pond, a hill, something like that. I don't see a reason why you would want to stop this fairway here. That just, it could come across as gimmicky. Here's the thing. You've got a pond over there. Look right behind the hole. Over there. There's a pond there. There's a pond there. I would just put a stream in, right? I mean, a stream is a great reason for splitting the fairway. It's about as good as a reason you're going to get. If you just had a stream cutting across those three holes, that would add something to the design too, right? I mean, now it's not really going to be in play on the hole we just played. But again, it'd be something scenic. That would make sense. And I think it would be coming off a tee over there on that other hole. I'm not sure if that's the next hole. But that would make sense. Just put a little stream right through there. Rather than this. And then you kind of have a decision here. I guess the ones at your back, you're going to be able to go over. Here we're not. So we're just going to kind of put one in play. It's still going to be long. With that wind, really? I didn't watch the elevation. That's what happens when you're talking, not focusing. But yeah, I wouldn't have gone that way with that. Again, just trying to give helpful design tips, helpful coaching tips to help designers figure things out. The school of course design is always open in my head, I guess, right? You know, so I just try to help out and do my thing. I learned a lot through these videos of others over the years, you know, B101 and Matt F27 and his streams, Victory Lane Sports, even Mayday put some really cool videos, not many, but some really helpful ones out there over the years. So I'm certainly not comparing myself to those gentlemen. Just trying to give back my thoughts and feedback on things that have confused me over the years. And believe me, I've gotten my share of criticism over the years, and it's always helpful to hear somebody else's opinion. But I have done a couple of those, more than a couple of those courses, and I putt right off the green in my day and felt the wrath. Look at this planting. Look how good that looks. Look at that grass there. That's just excellent. Use of lighting and planting. So this one's interesting. I remember this from the first round I played. Unfortunately, we got the wind in our face, and that's going to rule out going for it. But the hole was back. Well, I'm not sure if it was back, but obviously, look here, you could definitely fly one into the screen and fly it right over, going out to the back there. So fun hole, be a fun shot if you had the wind or a crosswind, or you're playing up tees, but I've got the wind in my face. That's not going to do anything but go into that rough or the bunker. And given that hole location, you want a nice wedge in. I'm just going to throw one right out here, kind of to the fat of the fairway. Spin one in there. Got a perfect on it, but I pushed it a little. It's alright. Look at that putt. Look at that line. Oh my god. That's terrible. So I've never professed to be a highly skilled player. You don't see me out there playing tournaments that much. You will see me out there occasionally playing a match. So I will take advantage of the 2K23 matchmaking. Sit. Oh, just trickled by. I pulled it into the bunker. One thing I've been doing in real life, I've been staying out of the bunkers. So far this year, like I said, I played around and I stayed out. I hit one bunker. And like I said, I hadn't played 18 since Memorial Day, but I think that whole weekend I didn't hit a bunker. So basically I had almost 3.5 full rounds and did not hit a bunker. Of course I had trouble hitting fairways, but it's another story. But my iron play, my approach play, all that is much improved and pretty solid. Wedges are usually fairly solid. Again, I just need more practice. So I'm not happy where they're at, because I know it could be much better. And that's actually, for me, a strength. And again, I'm talking real golf, not PGA Tour 2K23 golf. Just sometimes I cannot find it off the tee. Putting, I have not practiced very much, so I'm fairly happy with where that's at, given the lack of practice I've had. But then again, that becomes difficult when you play multiple courses, different greens, different speeds. You have trouble with your distance control, and you wind up 3-putting. But we hope to get out there and practice a little bit more, get out there more, that the weather hopefully has turned here, and school's out, and it's time for some golf. All right, so back to this. Driftless Glen, hole 18. Nice finish going at the clubhouse. A nice, fairly wide open tee shot on a par 5, finishing with the 5. I like finishing with a 5 occasionally. Yeah, so you see some nice slopes, some challenging greens. I got to just double check a few things before we put this on the casuals. Again, I think this is going to be featured week 8. I think we might do Los Angeles Country Club the same week, and then that's our USA Championship, our major. And I think I have a course in mind for that, but I haven't solidified it. If I do, I'll put up a graphic right here, and we'll let you know. But nice finish. You can see that this would be nice for crowds right up there. I know it doesn't fit the overall kind of look and feel, but that's, what we look for in a big weekender on the casuals. Tee ready, we call it. Tournament ready with crowds, tournament objects, etc. We're having trouble finding big weekenders that are tee ready. So all your designers out there, if it's, big weekender worthy and you put some crowds in there, you'll definitely get a second look from us, because I've got enough Wednesday, Thursday courses and Monday, Tuesday courses that I know what to do with, but we are struggling to find tee ready, because a lot of folks just don't put the crowds in there. And, I understand on a course like this, it kind of ruins the vibe, right? So, but it's definitely the trend. Most folks are not putting them in. All right, there it is. Other than my snowman on 11, a fun round. Great job, Steve. Excellent course once again. Look for it week 8 in the casuals. You let me know in the comments. What do you want to see out here? More PGA Tour 2K23 design content? Casuals previews? Coaching, casual coaching I call it. If somebody, who is kind of a beginner and wants me to go through their course and give feedback like I did for Procasset Beta. Whatever you like. Shoot me a note, and I hope to see you soon. Again, sorry again for the delay, but we'll be getting out here more often with more content. See you real soon.